Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow good stories. Returning to her room, Chloe frantically began packing as if she were planning to run away. While packing, she suddenly froze, recalling Damien's words. I didn't come to destroy your world. I came because I've missed you. I wanted to see you, to speak to you, to dance with you. These words filled Chloe with fear and unease. At that moment, the door opened, and Sophia entered, her eyes glistening with tears. Miss Claire? Chloe was surprised. Sophie? What's wrong? Sophie asked nervously. Are you leaving without saying goodbye? Did I do something wrong? Hearing that, Chloe immediately comforted the girl. No, of course not. There. I'm not going anywhere. Still doubtful, Sophie asked. But then, why is the room so messy? Chloe gently reassured her that she was just tidying up the room. She usually did this. Sophie's eyes still glistened with tears, and suddenly, she hugged Chloe tightly. Stroking her head, Chloe softly comforted her. It's all right, Sophie. Holding the girl in her arms, Chloe's mind was filled with conflicting thoughts. This is my peaceful world, one that I'd finally created just for me, without him. And I vow never to let anyone destroy it. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice, Damien. Your certainty that I still love you, your arrogance in thinking that I'll eventually crumble and come crawling back to you, will be completely destroyed. I'll make sure of it. The next morning began with Chloe's astonished face. Sophie's mother, sweating nervously, said, What else can we do? I'm terribly sorry, Claire. He was supposed to leave today, but something urgent came up here in town. Chloe tried to refuse, but I'm afraid I don't know enough about Genevieve to guide you. Sophie's mother grabbed Chloe's hand and smiled. Don't think of it as having to guide him around, Claire. Rather, you'll be keeping him company. She then whispered to Chloe, I really am sorry. He specifically requested that you accompany him because you two get along so well. He's a very important guest. Could you help him out just this once? With a sigh, Chloe reluctantly agreed to her request. Sophie's mother thanked Chloe profusely. Seizing the opportunity, Damien approached Chloe. Goodness, thank you for accepting my invitation. Chloe looked up at the man. You're welcome. I'm always happy to be of help to Mr. and Mrs. Ricardo's esteemed guests. Mr. Taylor. Damien gazed at Chloe with a complex expression, reaching out to lift her hand. Very well. Shall we go? This scene made Mrs. Ricardo exclaim with surprise. Oh my, those two look so natural together. The atmosphere in the carriage was truly indescribable. Damien spoke up. Beautiful. Looking out the window, Chloe pretended to agree. Yes, Genevieve is a truly lovely place. Resting his hand on the window frame, Damien looked out at the sky and said, Indeed, it's very idyllic, the perfect place to just forget everything. So, did all the beauty here also manage to make you forget the countless moments we shared? With a serious expression, Chloe replied, What if it did? After a moment of silence, Damien spoke. If you truly did forget our time in Swain's Rose Garden, that winter among the emerald trees of the Verdier Forest, and us kissing on that bridge in this, I won't hold on any longer. I'll let you go. Biting her lower lip and fidgeting with her hands, Chloe considered that memories and nostalgia are different things. How so? Damien asked. Chloe stammered. Well, nostalgia is beautiful, eliciting a longing for the past that you wish to remember forever. But memories can be painful, especially if they're difficult to forget. Her answer surprised Damien. Chloe, if you're implying that not being able to forget me is painful, then what does that make me? Insane? Damien's expression grew truly frightening, as if he had been repressing his emotions for a very long time before this encounter. Seeing this, Chloe, too embarrassed, shouted, Even before we met, I lived just fine without you. Damien nodded in agreement. Seeing this, Chloe looked away, her brows furrowed. But now, you've shown up again. I had even thought of starting a family with a different man. Hearing this, Damien's eyes grew sad. I see. Well, you did marry me even though you didn't love me, so I wouldn't find it odd were you to marry again without loving the man, all while carrying me in your heart forever. That's just the sort of woman Chloe Verdier is. Do not delude yourself into thinking I would cherish you so. If you think I'm simply delusional, then try rejecting my existence. Tell me you've forgotten me. Saying this, Damien knelt before Chloe. That my existence stirs no emotions in you. He lifted her hand to her astonishment and placed a kiss on it. Let me hear you say it. Without looking at Damien, Chloe muttered, I do not like you." Hearing her reply, Damien responded gently, Chloe, that's not enough. That doesn't prove that you don't love me." He raised his other hand to touch Chloe's hair, but she brushed his hand away with irritation, her hand trembling. "How so? I can't even stand your touch." Damien, stunned by her reaction, saw the disdain on Chloe's face. "It makes my skin crawl." Unable to believe what he was hearing, Damien questioned, "Are you being serious?" Chloe continued, "I am. You truly repulse me." She said this while watching Damien's reaction. Suddenly, the carriage shook as if it had hit a rock. Damien quickly steadied Chloe, and her bag fell, scattering its contents across the wooden floor. Looking at the man in front of her, Chloe turned away in embarrassment and asked, "Was that answer enough for you?" At that moment, both of them noticed something on the floor. Chloe gasped, but it was too late. Damien reached for the necklace on the floor, the one with a picture of them both. It was clear how touched Damien was to see that Chloe had kept the necklace. His eyes glistened with tears as he looked at Chloe. It was. The next day, everyone gathered together for dinner. Sophie's mother chatted enthusiastically. "Mr. Taylor told me how grateful he was to you, Claire. He said he had a wonderful time yesterday thanks to your company. But I suppose that's to be expected. I can't imagine it having gone any other way with someone as lovely as you guiding him." Savoring the food on the table, Damien joined in. "Yes, and she's got quite the sense of humor. She had me wrapped around her finger with just one word. I believe that was the first time in my life I'd ever been nervous." Hearing this, Sophie's mother responded excitedly, "Oh, haha, is that why you weren't able to join us for dinner last night?" Damien smiled and replied, "Oh goodness, was it that obvious? I was so disappointed when I told you I was feeling unwell and wouldn't be dining with you. It's truly an honor to be enjoying a nice meal with you today. Had you seen me last night, you would have understood my decision." Damien added, "You see, when my nerves settle, I am no different from an unbridled beast." As if remembering something, Sophie's mother brought up a topic she had heard from Swanton. "Oh, my, haha. By the way, Mr. Taylor, since you're from Swanton, you must know quite a bit about the situation there, no?" "Well, I've heard that their king will soon be welcoming a new queen." "Do you know anything about that?" Her husband spoke up. "Oh, come now. Why are you so curious about that, Stella?" Damien, sipping his wine, replied, "Quite an interesting topic, isn't it? A new queen. That's what the people of Swanton are hoping for, but I don't think bringing her will be so easy." Sophie's father looked surprised. Why is that?" Holding his wine glass, Damien turned to Claire and said, "I wonder that myself, Miss Claire. Why do you think that is?" How will Chloe respond to Damien's question? Stay tuned for the next episode of the Manhwa Betrayal of Dignity on the Revenping Manhwa channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to follow more great stories.